yan, di ba? If not worse. I mean, do you think now we're totally isolated na in Southeast Asia? So better we move towards the Northeast Asia with Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and towards the Pacific. And meaning New Zealand, Australia, US. Yun ba yung natural na strategic orientation natin? Not by choice, but by circumstances?
Well, I would agree na ano na tayo, Richard, outlier na tayo sa ASEAN eh. We no longer share the same strategic interest eh. Of course, may residual, ando pa rin yung yung residual engagement natin sa kanila dahil historically tayo one of the original members sa ASEAN. Pero kung titingnan mo, the way nag-evolve yung defense and foreign policy posture natin, ang nagkakaroon tayo ng shared interest is not with Southeast Asia, but rather the Northeast Asian countries. So we're going to Japan, South Korea, of course, if you go much further, aside from the US, siguro Canada and Australia. So yun na yung natin eh, doon na pupunta yung direction ng interest natin. Na kung titingnan natin yung mga economic engagement o economic commitments arising from, let's say, yung trilateral summit, yung engagements with Canada, engagement with Australia, in terms of economic resiliency, doon na nare-resolve yung mga problema natin, yung mga gaps natin sa economy. So ang nakita ko talaga, if we try to be quote-unquote Machiavellian about it, we position ourselves at the center.
Realist na lang, realist. Medyo sira na yung
realist.
Realist.
We want to be realist. We position ourselves as the parang may sarili tayong hub and spoke mechanism. Tayo yung hub. Southeast Asia orientation with ASEAN, then a Northeast Asian orientation toward the other countries, yung mga like-minded democracies. So ganun ang natin, ganun magiging positioning natin.
Yeah, I mean, wow, it's crazy. I mean, the reason, it's not like hindi nag-effort si Marcos, di ba? Ilan beses na siya bumisita sa Singapore. Very good yung dynamics niya with Vietnam. Bumisita siya sa Vietnam. He's trying to reach out. Indonesia, Jokowi pumunta dito earlier this year. Si BBM pumunta noong 2022. Parati na sinasabi ASEAN centrality. So ano yun? Parang so for us to be like the rest of ASEAN, essentially we should just shut up on what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. Is that like the only way we can find the Venn diagram overlap with them?
Ito yung problema, Richard, and we have to give credit to the CCP, to China, yung efficacy ng kanyang geo-economic strategy. Kasi hindi naman unlike the US na security yung way of linking. Sa China, it's economic, and hindi siya economic na pangmasa. It's economic. Ang engagement niya, political elites eh.
Co-optation essentially.
It's economic strategy. Tapos tinapatan mo ng United Front Work strategy. Given that recipe, what do you think will happen? So you have yung political leadership ng mga countries ng ASEAN o Southeast Asia gravitating towards China. Okay. Yun yung binabangga ni President Marcos, hindi natin kaya yon kasi wala tayong critical mass para na compared to China para to exert that level of influence, particularly among the political elites ng ating neighbors, to swing them to our way. Best effort siguro mag-diplomatic mission tayo with the ASEAN countries, parang natin, we try to convince them, okay, ito yung position natin diyan. But with low level expectation, we will succeed. At least articulate mo yung yung position na why we are acting this way with respect to China.
Ang problema ko sa ganyan position, which I think is the status quo, right? Which is, hayaan mo na lang, let's just go with the flow, tanggapin natin ganyan, is para may pagka-boiling frog na tayo. Kasi ako kasi, my alternative would be, and this is also risky, and it could make things worse, I admit it, is call it out. You shame the rest of ASEAN. Well, forget about some of the countries that we don't have to mention, but at least Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, ito yung mga mahalaga. Well, Vietnam maybe not as much. Na sana naman, di ba, pakita kayo ng konting solidarity. Sana naman, hindi kayo mag-lawyer for China. Hindi kaya baka we have to call it out also a little bit more. Na we are just taking the punches eh. And parang boiling frog tayo. It's just a matter of time before they completely excise us out of ASEAN through psychological warfare and all. I mean, talking about China and their proxies.
Well, we can call them out, no, Richard, pero medyo doubtful ako doon sa yung babardagulan natin na type of calling out. Kasi ASEAN pa rin yan na culture So it's not they don't want yung type yung concept of face. You have to give them face also. Even if we totally disagree, but we need to provide look for a parang medium or space na we can articulate yung concern natin, yung okay, we're calling them out, but hindi naman natin sila pinapahiya. Or maybe we can look for allies within those countries. Kasi I would presume
So
that
minilateral. I mean, that's the only way. Minilateral. Just work directly with Vietnam, a bit with Prabowo. Kasi I'm hopeful on Prabowo na he might turn out like Marcos. Horrible reputation, scion of dictatorship, pero biglang internationalist.
pero ang binabangga mo sa Indonesia yung economic elites niya. Kasi economic elites niya yung yung
resource exporting to China, yeah, or nickel, all of that, yeah.
So we don't know I'm not familiar with the dynamics within yung political at economic elites ng Indonesia. But kung malaki yung say ng economic elites nila to policies, government policies, then I think may yung wiggle room o yung space ng leadership ng Indonesia, political leadership ng Indonesia, meron ding konting may konting restriction din yon. With respect to yung China policy nila. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, economically, everyone is dependent on China, including the Philippines. I mean, nagsalita yung pinakamayaman na pamilya dito, di ba? Hindi Villar, yung isa. Na ingat-ingat tayo, baka naman in trade ganun. Pero ako, I don't know, kasi ako, I count on vanity of Prabowo, this kind of leaders, that, Indonesia is not just a factotum of China. Hindi lang tayo mina lang ng China, di ba? Na Indonesia is also a G20 country, a major force, non-aligned, blah, blah, blah. And a good friend of mine, si Ivan Laksamana, from IISS, wrote this very interesting piece about kung titingnan mo yung rhetoric ng China-Indonesia and Indonesia-US, and titingnan mo yung number of military exercises, right? Military agreements, ang liit lang sa China, ang laki sa US. So minsan may pagka-performative din yung Indonesia na they make it look as if they're very balanced, global south, blah, blah, blah. But deep inside, they also don't trust China. They're very worried about Natuna, right? They're very worried about Chinese, infiltration and in a more dark sense, also the anti-China sentiments in Indonesia. They have history of pogroms and all of that. So may anti-communism. I mean, for 25 years, they had no relationship with China during Suharto period, diba? So I don't know. I mean, for me, medyo wild card ng Indonesia. So it's worth investing in. And, who cares about, I don't want to name that other leaders like Hun Sen. Okay, name ko na. But who cares about Hun Sen if you can have Prabowo more sympathetic to you? Or
if that's the case, siguro that would be a leader-to-leader engagement. President Marcos mismo yung
Well, exactly, because Marcos is good in that. Schmoozer yan, di ba? Magaling silang pareho. They can do that. Gulf diplomacy.
Yeah. So, yun pwede siguro yan. The way you framed it, pwede yun. And of course, there's Vietnam. You mentioned Vietnam already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I see the wisdom of Marcos' strategy. Like, don't expect 10, but maybe we can get 5 or 6 out of this. That's better than 0, right? Reach out to Vietnam, reach out to Indonesia, and then let's see with Anwar. Sabi ni Anwar naman, nag-usap daw sila ni Marcos, gets niya yung side ng Philippines, so he will push for aggressive diplomacy next year. Kasi ang chairman ng ASEAN is Malaysia next year. At for sure, Gaza will be number 1 issue to them for understandable reasons. But ang hope natin is sana naman on the West Philippines, hindi sila mag-Cambodia. They'll do slightly better than Indonesia, hopefully even. Dahil direct claimant state din sila. So, konting naman, di ba? So, ako again, for me, hindi mutual exclusive yan. Once in a while, call out ASEAN 10's shortcomings, but at the same time, accept na may talagang limitasyon yan. Pero minilaterally, go for Prabowo, go for Vietnam, put pressure on Anwar. Like, kailangan talaga i-step up natin yung ASEAN diplomacy natin kasi I'm sure we have great diplomats. Pero sa pagkaintindi ko, pagdating sa ASEAN, very conservative yung diplomacy natin. Hindi siya kasing aggressive ng, European diplomacy natin or American diplomacy or definitely Chinese diplomacy natin. So ako, I suggest a little bit more Carino Brutal, di ba? Ako kasi I love ASEAN. I'm very proud that we have an organization with ASEAN. I can go to Vietnam, Brunei, any country in the region without the need for visa, di ba? It's a big deal to me, this accessibility, this common cultures. So, na-hurt talaga ako, Admiral, no? Yung idea na parang pinupush out na tayo na-OOP na tayo sa sarili natin riyon. Hindi naman tayo Kano, hindi naman tayo Hapon. We're neither Northeast Asian nor white. I mean, we're not. We're Pacific Southeast Asian people. So I just, I just have mixed feelings on that. But I see where you're coming from. Now, Justice, in the meantime, baka ma-depress lang tayo sa ASEAN na yan. Let's get more depressed. Hindi naman. Dito sa Ayungin Shoal, and this is why I wanted to really talk to you, Admiral. What's the good, what's the bad, what's the ugly? Kasi for me, the good is, correct me if I'm wrong, mukhang na-fortify na natin yung kailangan natin i-fortify. Diba? I was told na baka for the next 10 years, medyo okay yung structure natin dyan sa BRP Sierra Madre. So mukhang construction materials got through. I don't know if enough, correct me if I'm wrong. I have metallurgical engineering friends who are kind of skeptical about it, but you correct me on that. You're the Navy man. The bad is China has crossed a psychological barrier. Yung idea na they can just forcibly come in and disarm us and humiliate us and wala silang pake kung ano mo yan, ma-transparency mo yan or hindi. And the ugly is, what if they'll do that en masse, like yung ginagawa nila sa Himalayas sa mga Indians, but 10-to-1 ratio, yung magde-drop sila ng tao with machetes and whatever kung fu stuff. Dyan sa BRP Sierra Madre. What is your take on this good, bad, and ugly situation? Is it all bad? Is it all good? Is it all ugly? Like, what are the shades of concerns and also relative credit that we should give to the administration?
Okay, deconstruct natin yung problem that you posed to me. Number one, Sierra Madre can still withstand for 10 years. Okay? Now, yung Sierra Madre kasi nakapatong yan doon sa pinaka-low, nakapatong siya mismo sa shoal. So, hindi yan mangyari lulubog. Okay? Ang repair kasi na ginagawa natin Sierra Madre is actually more for habitability purposes. To make it comfortable doon sa tropa natin sa loob that are staying there or deployed there. So, yun yung constantly nire-repair natin. We're not actually repairing the entire ship. Okay? Just a portion of it, yung section that contains yung living spaces ng ating tropa. Okay? So, if your information is correct, pwede pa siya ng 10 years, that's good. But of course, it's not just structural. There are peripheral systems that needs to be in place.
Yes, please explain.
Yung water, yung potable water, fuel, kailangan mo rin ng power doon for your electronic equipment, yung radio, yung communications mo. So yung mga ganon. So even if you say 10 years, you still have those sort of nitty-gritty problems, yung the devil in the details type of problems that you will encounter.
So, or maybe, Admiral, sorry to again simplify. So maybe the skeletal part has been kind of fixed, but the meat, the steak, yun yung kulang, di ba? Electronics, food supply, all of those things.
Yeah. Second, and this is the vulnerability na position natin. Kasi yung weak vulnerability yung critical vulnerability ng position natin sa Ayungin is not the Sierra Madre itself. It's the mobility corridor or supply corridor that we need to maintain to sustain yung Sierra Madre. Okay? And that's that supply corridor between Ayungin Shoal and mainland Palawan kasi doon yung pinagkagalingan ng ating supply ship. Okay? So that's the vulnerability natin. Tapos, the reason why nagkakaproblema tayo is merong capability yung kabila na hindi natin nahihirapan tayong i-offset. And that's capability na to swarm vessels, be it PLA Navy, be it Coast Guard, be it militia. We've seen that they've done that sa Scarborough Shoal during yung civilian convoy, and they've been doing that in some areas also in this Pratilin Island. So yung capability to swarm is basically inherent to their yung strength nila yun, critical strength nila yun. Okay? Pangalawa, yung they've already employed tactics that they borrowed from the border conflict nila with India. So we need to level up also.
Yung sa Ladakh and Himalayas, yeah, with the Indians, yeah.
So kailangan din tayo ng mag-level up in terms of having melee weapons to be able to at least there's modicum of parity of yung capabilities. Hindi siya lethal pero kailangan siya. Okay? So yun yung doon, problema natin. Now we need to break the cycle yung ano ba yung pwede nating gawin that will break that vulnerability, which is yung dependence ng Sierra Madre to resupply. Okay? Kasi yun yung nila, yun yung inaatake nila kaya nga may blockade sila around as you mentioned Kasi because they have preponderance of force, they already they have dominancy control ng the waters around Ayungin Shoal. Even
And
if control
escalation domination. Yeah, and also
even if na-control natin yung loob because nandun Sierra Madre, nakokontrol nila yung labas kasi hindi natin ma-challenge yung presence nila. Okay? And because they dominate yung paligid, ang natitreaten palagi yung supply corridor natin. Okay? Na dinadaanan ng supply ship. Okay, kaya ang conflict is not sa loob ng Ayungin Shoal, it's in the supply corridor ang labanan.
now, Justice, that's the big operational landscape. Now, what about the scenario of them forcibly trying to take over BRP Sierra Madre? Should we be clear na, first of all, ang rules of engagement is our naval forces are sanctioned to use lethal force to defend themselves and to protect our base. And then also that the US and the Americans and the Filipinos have to also signal that the MDT will be activated in an event that the Chinese essentially provoke an armed confrontation, kinetic confrontation.
I think I'm not sure if it's clearly stated, but I think we need to restate or be emphatically restate that we are declaring free fire zone around, let's say 100 meters around Sierra Madre. Ibig sabihin, pag pumasok ka within that range, pwede kang gamitan ng deadly force. Okay? And dapat communicated sa kabila yun na once you do that, when you fall within that perimeter na natitreaten